Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, The Popthusiast. I am Paul, and in this video, we are going to talk about my New York Comic-Con experience. I was lucky enough to attend in person last week at New York Comic-Con in the Funko booth, and all the amazing stuff that happened at the New York Comic-Con. And my Funko Pop order just came in as well, so we're going to take a look at the pops that I was able to get. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, your order just came in, but you attended New York Comic-Con? So unfortunately, I was not able to get a reservation for the Funko booth, but I was able to peer at the Funko booth through the Loungefly entrance, which was the same two halves of the same booth. But yes, I had to get shared exclusives, was not able to get any Comic-Con sticker versions, which I'm not a sticker fan really, and I take them out, as you know, or you may know and can see behind me. So not a big deal to me, but we're gonna go ahead and look at what I got, talk about the con. Let's get into it. Okay, so first I want to send a shout out to my cousin, Sean, or Sean Streamer, who has been in a couple of my YouTube videos in the past, the Derek Jeter video and the Batman, the movie. He came with me to Comic-Con, and our main reason for going to New York Comic-Con, believe it or not, was not Funko Pop related, although I was looking forward to the Funko Pop scene and meeting people that I've only communicated with online. The main reason why we were going was to go for comic book creators and artists, so writers and artists of our favorite comic books, and getting them signed and being able to meet those creators, which we were able to do in the Artist Alley section of New York Comic-Con. It was really fun. We spent almost the whole first day of the 4 days in Artist Alley and got a bunch of books signed, so that was totally fun. So just wanted to send a shout out to Sean, my cousin. Thank you for attending with me. In addition to Artist Alley, there were a lot of different voice actors and other celebrities there signing and meeting with fans, to include the Back to the Future duo of Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly and Doc. And I know a couple people that were able to get some of their Back to the Future pop signed by both of them, so that's super awesome. The prices were out of my price range to be able to meet with and get autographs from the celebrities, so I did not do that, but I know a lot of people that did. Just overall was a really amazing time. And will it be something that I go to every year? Probably not, for a couple of reasons. One, expense. It was pretty expensive to kind of be able to take the time off, and transportation and lodging and everything to go to New York Comic-Con, and that's before you even buy anything. But it is a great experience, and I hope to be back again at some point in the future. Now, as awesome as New York Comic-Con was, there was a couple things that I was bummed out about. Of course, no trip or experience is going to be perfect and meet all of our expectations. But one of the things I was bummed out about, I wasn't able to get a chance to meet Mike Becker. So Mike Becker, if you don't know, is one of the, or if really the founder of Funko, and started the company with the Wacky Wobblers way back in the 2000s. And was hoping to meet him. He seems like a really cool, energetic guy, very dedicated to the fans. And we just were not in the same place at the same time. So he was out in front of the Funko booth at times and was kind of running around, and just didn't get a chance to meet him. So hopefully at some point that will happen in the future. But I did get a chance to meet some of the social media team at Funko, to include Hillary Gray, which is really cool. So was really excited to be able to meet some of those folks. But the second thing I was disappointed about was the actual Funko reservations. So just going to New York Comic-Con and being there is not enough to be able to get a chance to get con stickered Funko Pops. So as those that may not be aware, you have to actually go and reserve a spot this year. In the past, I think it was a lottery system. This year they decided to do a reservation system. So you had to get in a line in a queue. And I think my wife and I were traveling, and I think we were at a Wendy's, and I'm sitting there at the Wendy's with my phone in the queue, and I actually got a pretty decent queue time. I think it was like 4 minutes. But by the time I got in, all the reservations for Funko booths from Thursday through Sunday were sold out. So that was the only opportunity initially that I thought to get into the Funko booths. There was some will call, I think is what they named it, opportunities where if you waited in line for like 4 or 5 hours, which I definitely did not want to do, but many people did, At some points during the con, you can get into the Funko booth after the people that got their reservations. For me, that wasn't worth it. Like I mentioned, the stickers are not really a big deal for me, and I would just rather have the pop and the item and not wait 4 or 5 hours and waste all that time. So what ended up happening is Friday morning, I think it was at 9 o'clock in the morning when the shared exclusives dropped, I'm at Comic-Con with my phone ordering the exclusives that are shared that are going to be shipped to my house. Sounds kind of weird, but I know there was a lot of people in that situation and in that boat. So we're going to reveal what I got here in a second. But I would say the third disappointment that I had from this Comic-Con was experiencing the cutthroat, ruthless reseller market. So there literally was a guy that went into the Funko booth, bought a bunch of different stuff, came out with 2 big bags. They had these huge Funko Frightnight orange bags, and set up shop essentially right outside the Funko booth to flip all of his stuff. So to me, that's really bad taste. You know, I'm not against people reselling their pops or trying to make some money back and things like that, but that is genuine BS. Like, dude, at least, you know, get away from the Funko booth a little bit. Like, you set up shop right outside the Funko booth and start flipping your stuff. So that was really irritating to me. I didn't actually go over there and say what I wanted to say to him, but I'm sure that happens quite a bit. So enough of my babbling about my experiences at New York Comic Con. It definitely was awesome. It was super fun, and I was lucky to get all the different New York Comic Con pops that I was looking for. So at the end of the day, it was a great experience. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. So Funko is still using these really weird sorters, which I guess keeps them protected, hopefully. So here's 3 awesome pops right here. So you can see the heads at the top here. So continuing with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Power Rangers collaboration, we have the last 2 of the set. So far, there was Leonardo, Donatello, and Shredder. So now we have Raphael, and then Michelangelo is probably in the box. So here is Raphael with his size as the Red Ranger. So here's an out-of-box look at this really awesome pop. So here he is in the red Power Rangers outfit. Size are both out. From the Disney line, we have Professor Owl. So they finally came out with a Professor Owl pop, which is really awesome. Here he is out of box, fairly small in comparison to normal size pop, a very small figure. And then in The Simpsons, there was 2 of the bullies that they dropped during New York Comic Con. This first one is Jimbo Jones. So one of the bully that has the purple hat. So here he is out of box. I don't think I've met anybody that doesn't love The Simpsons. So it's just really one of the most iconic cartoons of all time. So the next weird sorter here that has 3 pops in it. Here we go. Here we have Michelangelo. So there's the other Power Ranger pop. Michelangelo as the Yellow Ranger. But here he is out of box. So he's got these kind of look like sais, but they're not. But so they're definitely not nunchucks. But here is Michelangelo. And then part of the Marvel line, so the Secret Invasion TV series that's going to be coming out soon from Marvel Studios, we have Nick Fury. So if you're not familiar with Secret Invasion, it was a really great comic book storyline a few years ago, and where the Skrulls are invading the Earth. So as with all Marvel pops, they are bobbleheads. So here is Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. You know, one eye missing. No eye patch though. And then another Disney pop, we have a new version of Roger Rabbit. So we do have the original set of 4 Roger Rabbit pops, which are now vaulted and hard to find. But it was kind of cool that they came out with another version of Roger Rabbit. This time he has the scene in the movie where he's got the kisses all over him from Jessica Rabbit. So for those collectors that had the initial set of 4, the downside of something like this is now we got to find room on the shelf to fit this guy, because we thought we had a full set, but now we have to add this guy to the list, to the shelf. So I got to figure out how to maneuver that around. But really cool pop. This next pop just comes in a regular 1 sorter, and we have from G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter. So there is a Sergeant Slaughter pop for the WWE version of Sergeant Slaughter. This time it's the G.I. Joe version of Sergeant Slaughter. And I think so far all of these pops have had the shared sticker, so there's been no errors so far. But G.I. Joe is a must-have collection for me, so growing up in the 80s and 90s. So here is Sergeant Slaughter. All right, so the next set of 3 pops just fell out of the sorter, but we'll grab these one at a time. So this next pop is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is Borat. One of the funniest movies. I don't know what it is about Sacha Baron Cohen and his humor and just playing the character of Borat, but one of my favorite movies of all time. So I was really excited that they came out with the Borat pop. So here he is out of box. He's just so goofy and a comedic genius in my opinion. So here is Borat. He's got his bags packed. He's got his American flag waving. Next from DC Heroes line, we have a really cool pop, a Joker pop, Emperor Joker. So I don't remember where this is referenced in the comic books, but it was a must-have for me because I do collect most of the DC heroes. So here he is out of the box. So this is a pretty hefty, detailed pop. So he's got his Emperor robes on. He's got a Harley Quinn cane or staff with a crown up here as well. Just really nicely done. So from the television line, we have, which is really cool that they came out with this, Steve from Blue's Clues. So this guy, Steve, the actor that played Steve with the handy dandy notebook, he was actually at New York Comic Con. So it was possible that if you wanted to pay the fee to see him and get something signed, you could potentially have gotten, if you got into the Funko booth and were able to buy one of these, you could have him sign your Funko Pop. So I'm sure there was some people that did that. So for me, Blue's Clues does not hold the same nostalgic value that I know it does for other people. It just came after my time. So I, grew up prior to Blue's Clues, and so it wasn't really a part of my childhood, TV series watching, but I know he is a special part of a lot of people's childhoods. And the last set of 3 pops that we have here are equally good. I really got to say that the pops in this con were pretty cool. It's a really eclectic mixture of different pops that, in my opinion, were mostly, exclusive worthy. So the first one, another Disney pop. This time we have Clarabelle Cow. There she is on the back, the animation. So she's the first pop so far that has a stand out of all of these so far. So here's Clarabelle Cow out of the box in her pink dress and purple shoes. So really reaching back into the archives of Disney, which I do believe Clarabelle Cow is a part of some of the newer cartoons now too. But she is one of the original Disney characters. We also have from the DC series, we have Star Sapphire. So this is the second version of Star Sapphire that they have a pop of. They have a Wonder Woman as Star Sapphire, and then this is the actual Star Sapphire. So when, I believe it was Jeff Johns, the writer, created the different colored verse of the Green Lanterns, where it wasn't just the Green Lantern, there was all these kind of a spectrum of colors. So here she is out of box. She comes with a stand that's kind of built in to give her the illusion of levitating or flying, and she's got the really cool pink energy that's like surrounding her, coming from her pink ring. Really cool pop. And the final pop that I was able to get from the Funko shop, I was able to get other pops from other retailers. Some of them sold out in the Funko shop. These all came from the Funko shop, and I was able to get them all together. But as some of you have experienced, sometimes they sell out in your cart, and you have to go back to the beginning, and then other stuff sells out. So that wasn't as much of a nightmare as it's been in the past. But these are all the ones I was able to get from the Funko shop. But I was able to order some other shared exclusives from like Target and Walgreens and some other places. So those might be in a different video. But the last pop from the Funko shop is actually a movie I haven't seen yet, but plan on seeing. Here's Free Guy, or Guy from the movie Free Guy. So this is, of course, Ryan Reynolds and his character Guy from that movie. So again, I know a little bit about the movie, but I haven't seen it yet. Looks like he's holding some 3D glasses, so apparently that plays a role in the movie somewhere, and he has a busted nose. But there is Guy from the Free Guy movie. So all in all, 13 pops I was able to get from the Funko shop, with a couple other ones on their way that I was able to get from other shared retailers. So again, a really great mix of pops for this con. There were some other ones that I did not, or that I tried to get, but it sold out even in the shared version. I would say that the most popular, I don't know if I'd call it a grail, but the most popular, most sought after pop of this con was one of the pop rides from One Piece, Luffy and his pirate ship. I can't remember the name of it. I don't watch One Piece, but I know that was highly sought after. So during the con, one of the Comic-Con stickered versions sold for $900 on Whatnot. So that's ridiculous. That's somebody that really either desperately wanted that pop, had the money to spend, and didn't want to miss out. But we'll have a video probably coming up soon, talking about what's, the term you probably heard called FOMO, fear of missing out. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, but we will maybe dive into that concept in a different video. But here you go. We have from Disney, Clarabelle Cow, Roger Rabbit, and Professor Owl. From the Retro Toy Series, we have 2 more of the Turtle Power Ranger collaborations, and Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe. From DC, we have Emperor Joker and Star Sapphire. From the animation, we have Jimbo Jones. I was able to order the other, I can't remember his name, but the other bully that was a shared exclusive somewhere else, and so he'll come in soon. Movies, we have 2. We have Borat, my favorite movie of all time, favorite comedy anyway, and Free Guy. Then we have Steve from Blue's Clues for television, and then Nick Fury, Secret Invasion from Marvel. So let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think of this line of Funko Pops from New York Comic Con? Were you able to attend New York Comic Con, and did we meet each other? Were you able to get all the pops that you were wanting, or is there still some that you're looking for? And did you get the highly sought after Luffy pirate ship ride? So let me know in the comments. Thank you again for watching this video. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel where we talk about Funko Pops and pop culture and unbox things and have a good time. So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you next time.